Swatch number 22 is cheesecloth, which is characterized by being made from spun yarn, in this case 100% cotton. It is a very open weave, so it's easy to recognize. It is a balanced plain weave. There is no dye or print method used in this one, but it has been bleached as a finish. This is called a low count shear because its sheerness is created by the fact that there are very few yarns. So compare that with a shear like a georgette or a chiffon, right? Which are sheer, but are sheer because the yarns themselves are very small. We use cheesecloth in apparel to support the inside of designs, and then of course industrial uses include the incredibly obvious for making cheese. Let's take a look at a swatch of cheesecloth. This in your swatch kit may be kind of tough to pull out and find, may be really tightly stuck to the one behind it, but you can see these yarns are very, very thick. So the fact that this is sheer, that we can see through it, is only because they're very widely spaced. Swatch number 23 is also 100% cotton, which means that we know right away it's a spun yarn. This gauze is an example of a balanced plain weave, and this particular one is dyed. It was piece dyed. There is no finish per se. It is also a low count shear, although not quite as low count as the cheesecloth. It is known for poor resiliency, but that's actually part of its charm. It's often used in apparel for skirts, and in drapery it's used as well for interiors. So let's take a look at this swatch, and we can see that it is a little bit sheer. Right, it has kind of a nubbly, bumpy surface. When we discuss finishes, we'll discuss how in fact an embossed calendar finish might be used to create the surface of the gauze, but gauze is also used for bandages, right? If you think about gauze, and so it's just really meant to be a very quick, easily constructed, inexpensive type of cotton fabric. Swatch number 24 is gingham, made from 100% cotton. It is a spun yarn, and it is yet another balanced plain weave, although it is a medium weight fabric. And this particular type of fabric, we can tell right off it's yarn dyed. We'll look at that in just a minute. For other properties, we could note that it's matte, for example, and it's used for shirts, and it is also very popular for curtains or children's wear. So let me use this as an example to show how we know if something is yarn dyed. We talked about tweed. We know that it was fiber dyed because we see little spots of different colored fiber. But in this case, we know that this is yarn dyed right away because we see two different colored yarns. The only way to get yarns to be consistently two different colors, right? So there's some white ones, and a red one will come off in a moment. There's a red one. The only way to do that is to dye them while they're still yarns.